Well, where do I even start? It's been an overwhelming flurry of trades, signings, and surprises here in the NFL. Today I'm going to cover the Chiefs making small moves by resigning a couple players, Russell Wilson officially becoming a Bronco, Von Miller and Chandler Jones getting signed, and much more. And all timestamps and related articles will be in the description if you want to skip around to something in particular. So hey, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button for more daily news updates like this, and let's talk about it. But first, how about those? Over the past couple of days, I've covered that the Chiefs have tendered exclusive rights free agents Jody Fortson and Gore, restructured Frank Clark's contract to a much more palatable number, and signed former Texans safety Justin Reid to a 3-year, $31.5 million deal. And speaking of Justin Reid, he landed in Kansas City yesterday to get this contract signed.
Ooh. We have arrived. What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Just touched down, ready to get to work.
Let's get to work indeed. Hit that like button if you are as ready as I am to see Justin Reid get to work in this new chapter with the Chiefs. And then the Chiefs are also in deep talks with Tyreek Hill on an extension that is estimated to be over $20 million per year for around 3 years or so. Ian Rappaport says it's not, quote, close or closing in, but both sides have done significant work on this deal. He then says this will create cap room to look to the free agent pool for the Chiefs and potentially add someone like, I don't know, Jarvis Landry. So yeah, the deal with Tyreek is getting done soon, and he'll more than likely be around for the next 4 years or so. And then the Chiefs are bringing back QB Chad Henne on a 1-year deal for about $2 million, I think it was. It'll be his 5th season as Patrick Mahomes' backup. Matt Connor from Arrowhead Addict says this: Henne, who will turn 37 in July, gives the Chiefs a veteran backup to go with Mahomes, who is himself turning the corner as a very experienced player. Given Mahomes' body of work, it was questioned by some fans whether or not the Chiefs might go with a developmental arm in the QB2 spot, but Henne's re-signing answers that question for another season. I'm personally a bit surprised Henne is back for another year. I wondered if he'd be done or retire and Shane Buechele would be the next man up. Maybe that's the plan for next year. We shall see. And then the Chiefs did not extend a qualifying tender offer to cornerback Chris Lammons. That's not surprising to me. Most of us know by now that Lammons was involved with the Alvin Kamara fight incident that happened the night before the Pro Bowl. If you remember, right after the Pro Bowl, Kamara was arrested. Well, let's just say this. It's not looking good for Lammons, as it appears he allegedly started the incident. So again, not surprising to me that the Chiefs would let Lammons go. And then Andrew Wylie is sticking with the Chiefs for 2022 on a 1-year deal for $2.5 million guaranteed. Wylie has started 42 games in 4 years for the Chiefs, making starts at right guard, left guard, and right tackle, most notably last season when Niang got injured. Matt Derrick says pretty much what I think about the man. Wylie has become the Swiss Army knife for the Chiefs O-line, playing multiple positions, including finishing last season at right tackle. Matt Connor again says this: Wylie was perhaps the most important face of all to potentially bring back, given his incredible versatility up front for the Chiefs. Wylie has stepped into long-term starting roles as a substitute at left guard, and right tackle in recent years. His return provides considerable security on the right side, as Nick Allegretti's presence also helps along the interior heading into 2022. So yeah, when Niang was injured last season, Wylie stepped up and made things happen. Is he the best in the world? No. I mean, he himself does not want you to look at his Madden rating saying that it does not define him. Well, I looked up his Madden rating and it's a 66 overall rating. I'd say he's a bit better than that. And then our backup center, Austin Blythe, is signing with the Seattle Seahawks for 1 year, $4 million. The Seahawks are notorious for not having a good offensive line, and it's very possible that Blythe ends up starting games for Seattle at either center or guard. And that would put the Chiefs in line to earn a comp pick for Blythe in 2023. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs free agency moves so far? Were you expecting more? Are there any remaining free agents you would like to see the Chiefs really go after? Let me know in the comments down below. I mean, yeah, it's been quiet, and it's been a bit difficult watching player after player get signed by our rivals and competitors in the AFC. You got Von Miller signed, Chandler Jones signed, Za'Darius Smith signed, and the list goes on. It's been quiet. Our D-line is currently not any better than it was before the start of free agency. So my question is, where do we go from here? The Chiefs were reportedly in talks with Jarvis Landry, among others, but last night it was reported that Landry will be visiting the Falcons, and nothing else has really come out of all of this. So yeah, it's been interesting so far. We will have to see what else happens in the coming days. Be sure I'll keep y'all in the loop. In other NFL news, ESPN announced recently that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will be the new faces of Monday Night Football. It's reported that Buck will be paid around $15 million a year and Aikman around $18 a year, making them the highest paid sports broadcasters. Well, that is a boatload, a semi-truckload of money, first off. Second, I now have much more of a reason to continue listening to the Manning brothers on Monday night instead. And then Pete Carroll recently said in an interview yesterday that Colin Kaepernick contacted him. Carroll says he deserves a second chance, but says he doesn't know if that's in Seattle. He just notes that it's second chance time in the NFL. Quote, does that guy deserve a second shot? I think he does. And then, speaking of Pete Carroll and the Seahawks, Russell Wilson is officially traded to the Denver Broncos. And listen to this. He said he's watched all 17 of the Broncos' 2021 games 2 or 3 times each in the past 10 days, and he even watched their preseason games. And that process started while he was on vacation with his wife, Sierra. I mean, guys, this is hard to say with a straight face. This is one sick man. How are you going to watch the Broncos lose repeatedly while on vacation with Sierra? What is wrong with you, Russell? I do admire his commitment and think he's definitely going to help turn things around in Denver for sure, but it was still crazy to read about that. And then the Raiders are expected to sign Bears defensive end Bilal Nichols to a 2-year deal, but they release Carl Nassib, saving $8 million in cap space. And then they trade away Yannick Ngakoue, that's a mouthful, to the Colts in exchange for cornerback Rock Ya-Sin. And they're not done. They signed 4-time Pro Bowler Chandler Jones to a 3-year deal worth $52.4 million. Basically, the AFC West is insanity at its finest right now. I'm literally just going to refer to it as the Wild, Wild West, because basically everyone is doing everything they can to win this division next year. I think they're honestly very sick and tired of the Chiefs winning. We've won the division, I think, 6 years in a row now. So yeah, they're doing all that they can. The Chargers making moves, the Raiders making moves, the Broncos making moves. Will it be enough? Time will tell. And then a couple rule change proposals have surfaced. Looks like the Colts and Eagles want to see both teams have an opportunity to possess the ball in overtime, and the Titans want to see both teams possess the ball in overtime unless the team with the first possession scores a TD and successfully makes a 2-point conversion. That last one is interesting. I kind of like that one, to be honest, a TD and a successful 2-pointer to win. I'm in. But what are your thoughts here? Do you like any of these ideas? Let me know in the comments down below. And then the Falcons met with Deshaun Watson yesterday. This was the 4th team to meet with him, and I think the last. Apparently, Watson is torn on his decision as to which team to go to. He was impressed by the presentations from all 4 teams, the Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and Browns, and they have made it very difficult for him to make a choice. There's no specific timetable for a decision. Regarding Browns QB Baker Mayfield, Diana Rossini tweeted this out. After some conversations, even if the Cleveland Browns are not able to land QB Deshaun Watson, the sense I get is Baker Mayfield will still consider other options. So that'll be worth keeping tabs on for sure. In other player news, and this is going to be a flurry here, tight end Rob Gronkowski recently said there's a very good chance that he returns to the Bucs for the 2022 season. And speaking of the Bucs, they signed wide receiver Chris Godwin to a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million. Rams cornerback Darious Williams is expected to sign a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Jaguars. He was offered more by other teams, but he was born in Jacksonville, so it looks like going home to him was the priority. Pretty cool. And it looks like J.D. McKissic, who intended to sign a 2-year, $7 million deal with the Bills, changed his mind and is returning to Washington for the same compensation. Apparently, he initially wasn't offered a deal by the Commanders until he agreed to one in Buffalo. Then when he found out that they were willing to match that offer, he did not want to leave. And Chargers pass rusher Uchenna Nwosu agreed to a 2-year, $20 million deal with the Seahawks. The Titans unexpectedly released wide receiver Julio Jones. There's a dead cap hit there, but apparently we're done with him. So teams are seeking him out, and no, I don't really think the Chiefs should pursue this man. I think he's 33 and not the same that he once was. Outside linebacker Za'Darius Smith, who were supposedly on the Chiefs' radar, he inked a 4-year, $35 million deal with the Ravens. So, interesting. He returns to the team that initially drafted him back in 2015. Former Jaguars linebacker Myles Jack is expected to sign a 2-year, $16 million deal with the Steelers. And in some of the biggest news yesterday, Von Miller has officially become known as Von Biller. Bad joke. As he signed a 6-year deal for $120 million with the Buffalo Bills. Through the first 4 years, the deal averages $17.5 million per year, with $51.5 million guaranteed. Apparently, the Bills quietly worked on Von Miller all day, but the Rams certainly tried themselves to keep him around. In the end, Miller to the Bills. This man is 33 years old, so part of me is like, what in the heck are the Bills doing? I'm sure in all reality, it's a 2 to 3 year deal, but here's the thing, guys. Josh Allen is a QB that people believe in and want to play for. They know the Bills are among the top 3 teams in the AFC and one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year. So Von Miller is going to a team he feels he has a great shot at another ring with. Can't knock him for that. What are your thoughts on Von Miller, the new outside linebacker for the Bills? Do you like this move for them? It is a very interesting time here in the NFL. So much happening all at once. I can barely keep up to date. I hope the Chiefs make a bit more moves here soon. Time will tell there, but be assured, I will keep you updated every step of the way. Make sure you like and sub for more daily news like this, and also check out the video here from the previous day's news in case you missed it. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, morning-ish, when I get it done. So until next time, let's go. How about those